Yo, what's going on, friends? BHVr has dropped a bombshell on us with this new announcement of the developer update hitting PTB this coming week. There's going to be a few different changes that we're going to be able to test, and there's a lot more information that they gave us that's going to be coming out down the line. Before we dive too deep into that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You can get notified of all my uploads here on YouTube. And while you're at it, why don't you go head over to twitch.tv/Siptonic, where you can follow me, catch my live streams. I stream about 4 days a week. You don't want to miss those. We have a lot of fun, and every Sunday is Open Swift Day. Okay, let's take a look at this new developer update. One of the map realms that has been long requested to be redone is Red Forest, Mother's Dwelling. We got a Temple of Purgation rework not too long ago, but Red Forest is kind of remained sort of untouched. So these are some of the looks at, I guess, kind of just the artwork and the textures of what the map might look like. I believe this one is Temple of Purgation right here. And ultimately what players are looking for with the Red Forest update is just a mass shrinking of the map, which kind of looks like what we're going to get since the map is pretty much one of the biggest realms left in existence. In addition to one of the map realms getting updated, we're actually getting a new map feature change included with this PTB. And that's this map repeat prevention, which is basically going to keep players from playing the same map over and over, assuming no offerings are brought. So if you load into Leary's one game, you shouldn't get Leary's the next game. Everyone on your team, including the killer, should get a brand new map, again, assuming no offerings. So this is kind of cool. I know a lot of players, especially recently, have been loading into the same map over and over and over. I think like recently on one of my streams, I got, the same map 3 or 4 times. It was actually obnoxious. And of course, it was RPD, because of course it was. Another cute little change are going to be the bot loadouts and improvements. They're making improvements to the AI that you can play against in custom games. They're actually giving you the ability to select your specific loadout for each individual survivor, so that'll be interesting to test. So you can kind of go into games on, I guess for like PTBs and stuff when they're coming out with new perks and kind of test things. You can give survivors specific perks in custom games. Might be kind of neat. But here is where the game is really, really changing, okay? BHVr has kind of heard our outcries. Pretty much the one perk impacting the entirety of DBD right now in, I would say, a not so positive way is Eruption. That's right. This perk, as it stands right now, anytime a killer kicks a gen, as soon as they down a survivor, all the gens that are afflicted with Eruption, if a survivor is on it, will get regressed by 10%, and everybody that is currently touching the gen will get incapacitated for 25 seconds. It is such an insane perk. The fact that like a killer with almost no counterplay by survivors can literally just stop them from doing anything for about half a minute is pretty insane. It's obviously one of the most used perks. It's one of the most powerful. It clearly needs a nerf, but in BHVr-like fashion, they basically went out back and put Old Yeller down. They pretty much massacred the perk. Now Eruption will cause the generator to lose 10% of its current progress. So not 10% of the generator overall, but only 10% of its current progress. So let's say it only has 20% on it, it's only going to lose 2%. It's not really actually that insane. This is a pretty big nerf. Pretty much players only really wanted the incapacitate removed or reduced to like even 5 or 10 seconds, but they're actually getting rid of the incapacitate overall. So the second change they're making to Eruption is to basically remove the incapacitate, and instead I guess the killers are going to get to see the survivor's aura for 10 seconds. Instead, survivors who are actively working on the gen will scream and reveal their aura to the killer for 10 seconds. This change is gonna be okay for like Nurse and Blight players who might be able to get over to the gen and still be able to see the survivor's aura, but they massacred this perk. I wouldn't be surprised if you hardly see this perk now, because this isn't even really that good of a generator regression perk, because if the gen is say like 80 or 90% for you to get like that full value of like that original 10%, I mean, it's pretty much done already. Most killers, especially unless they have mobility, aren't going to be able to make it to the gen to contest it being completed if it's that far along anyway. And the second piece, I mean, they got rid of the incapacitate and basically nuked its regression potential. Honestly, a lot of people think they should have just kept the incapacitate at 5 or 10 seconds and, left the regression piece as is. There were a whole other slew of options that they could have gone with, but this is pretty much nuking the perk. On the flip side, they actually lifted up and elevated, you see what I did there, one of kind of the most memed on Survivor perks, and that's Any Means Necessary. This perk was buffed not too long ago. People for the longest time have been wondering why there's a cooldown on it to begin with, and honestly, I couldn't even tell you why, but they removed it. So now you can pretty much just drop a pallet, pick it up, drop a pallet, pick it up. You can pick up as many pallets in a row as you can as there are dropped, and yeah, it's kind of neat. A lot of people have been saying that this should have been done a long time ago. It's not really that insane of a perk even without the cooldown, because if it's a really strong god pallet, a killer should be kicking it anyway, and if it's an unsafe pallet, usually most killers won't care if it's picked up, because killers will just continue to bloodlust around it when it's dropped 10 times in a match. But yeah, pretty neat buff. I can't wait to see all my teammates just farming pallet points the whole game instead of, you know, doing gens. But hey, here we go. Another request from the community that's kind of gone seemingly unheard for a while is Cosmetic, specifically for one of the survivors, Hattie. She came out a while ago with Dredge, I believe it was, sometime last year, and she's hardly got any cosmetics. In fact, I think some of her headpieces, if you go into the store, are literally like the exact same. There are characters that literally, I think it was Victorio, came out shortly after her, and he had literally like 10 times her cosmetics. It was actually, it's kind of mind-boggling. So it looks like what they're doing is they're increasing the amount of cosmetics that they can kind of release with any given like update or patch, and I think they plan to give specifically Hattie and maybe some other characters that really haven't gotten many cosmetics in comparison to other survivors some more outfits. If you've been paying attention to Twitter at all recently, you'll notice that a lot of people have been speaking out saying that this character has pretty much gone essentially unnoticed in terms of new cosmetics. So rightfully so, BHVr is, you know, trying to rectify that, and it looks like they might be coming out with some more cosmetics pretty frequently for her, so that's kind of neat. And then I guess one of the last little things is an update on cheating. It looks like they're expanding their team that kind of looks at and works with, I guess, punishing or identifying cheaters, and I guess they got a team lead, so there you go. There's all the updates. Obviously, the biggest change is to Eruption. It's going to change the meta quite a bit, because Eruption Call of Brine, at least, you know, both those perks or Eruption is seen on so many builds. It's one of the most frustrating for Survivor because it literally leaves you unable to do practically anything. Yeah, but a lot of neat little changes come with this update. I can't wait to kind of mess around with Any Means Necessary myself, just because it might be kind of fun. There's not really any perks that kind of synergize and break it, so that's sort of neat. And I cannot wait for Eruption to go bye-bye, as well as this map repeat prevention addition to the game. I think that's going to be amazing. But thank you, nerds, for watching the video. I love you all. Peace out. I'll see you in the next one.
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong.